Hey everyone, Hobby Reflections here on a Saturday evening. Hope you're all staying safe with all of this craziness going on. So the main thing, do not panic, do not allow yourself to be caught up in the media. They're going to report on all the worst case scenarios, that's just their job, but the main thing, just take care of yourselves, isolate yourselves. I know it may be difficult, and just practice proper hygiene and all that. And you know what? If you follow all that, things will improve. That's just the way that's gonna go. Just take care of yourselves and each other. With all that said, let's get to this special video. I do not have any hockey cards due to just money being a bit tight, and I have no proper access to cards at the moment right now. Just don't feel like venturing out. So, with all that said, we have this Beckett Hockey Collector magazine from July of 2003. So let me zoom in on that. July 2003. On the cover, J.S. Giguere, when he played for the Anaheim Ducks. Look how young he looks there. J.S. Giguere in 2003. Great pose, action shot against Detroit. He went on to win the Conn Smythe against the New Jersey Devils in the Stanley Cup Finals. Came up short, but still, this boosted J.S. Giguere's name, and then he went on to win a Stanley Cup. If I'm not mistaken, he won a Stanley Cup in 2007 with the Anaheim Ducks. So, there we go. Best cards in life are free. If you know where to get them, that remains true to today. I apologize for the table being messy. But and then stories here in this issue of J.S. Giguere, Todd Bertuzzi, Marcus Naslund, and more. So those are some of the prominent names at that time. And first pricing for UD Premier Collection, Parky Retro, and Bowman Young Stars from 03-04. So let's dive into this for a bit of a flashback. So from 2003, so this is 17 years old if my math is correct. 17 years old come July. So there's an old ad. Are you tough enough? That's Lego when they had the collectibles for the NHL. Pretty cheesy looking. Old ads. They used to have alternate covers, I believe. So right there we have J.S. Giguere. This is the issue we have. And then there's this one with Marcus Naslund and Todd Bertuzzi. Uncle Todd, as ZV Game calls him, ZV Gaming. There's a ad for 02-03 Artistic Impressions Hockey. That's a really nice Gordie Howe. I used to buy quite a bit of this back when I first moved up to Alberta in 2006, and I had the full set almost. I did have the base set, but I remember pulling a Joe Thornton out of 25 autograph. So seeing that brings back a lot of memories, so that's pretty cool. A work of art, actually the same was said of his goal scoring talents, referring to Mr. Hockey. So that's pretty sweet. That's a prize that you could have won from a hobby shop. That's a beautiful, imagine having that now. Really nice. Okay, so short prints, some of the odds and ends of the hobby. Lots of interesting tidbits. I loved when Beckett used to do this. I wish they'd bring this back. Had a lot of cool stories. I kind of miss them having this. So right here, referring to a young player, and Joni Pekkanen. So there's some of his stats. Philadelphia picked him, 4th overall in 2003. If you read the text there, there's some of the stats and the hype. So the draft day trade last summer by the Flyers to adopt the 4th overall pick is looking better and better. So Joni Pekkanen, he wasn't too prominent, but still, pretty decent career with Philadelphia and Carolina. I believe he may have played for a few more teams, but Joni Pekkanen. And his rookies would be in the 03-04 sets, if I am not mistaken. Yoni Pikkinen. UD Upper Deck confirms Premier Collection numbering errors. So they, this was interesting. Yeah, so they had I believe these two cards shared the same number. So right here, the duplicated numbers include 44 to 49, 51 to 52, 56 to 60, 67, and 70 to 72. So one would be like a base card, and the other would be a rookie, and they messed that up. So they ended up labeling it like 44A and 44B, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's pretty cool right there. And look at this beautiful card right here. King Clancy, nickname, so a piece of his stick, I assume. It looks like it's lumber. Heroes of Hockey. So here's a little article on King Clancy. Right on, look at that. Beautiful piece. I used to really love seeing the retro cards, like from Parky Retro 0203. Oh, if I could get a box to break, that would be so fun. But that is a beautiful card right there. And then there's this NHL Stars 2003. So this has directed. So this is CD cards. So I've never seen these in person, but we had some of the prominent names at the time right there. So we had Arsman, Lemieux, Messier, Yager, Hall, and Iginla. And you could put them into your CD, your computer at the time. And it would have player bios, photo galleries, trivia, power statistics, video clips, emailable postcards, so you could collect them, I believe, exclusive wallpapers, screensavers, and much more. And it came looking like that, much similar to the 99-2000 Upper Deck Power Deck. Those little CD cards that you may have seen on my channel previously. So moving along, we have Parkhurst Retro, and this is the set right here. I've seen several breaks of this on YouTube. Just a really cool design based on the 51-52 Parkhurst set, which, as many of you know, is the rookie card of Maurice Richard, and if I'm not mistaken, and Gordie Howe. Maybe Maurice Richard was in the set, I'm not too sure, but Gordie Howe was the main card. So yeah, that's what it was based off of. So there's a product breakdown that they used to do. They still do it, but not in this small of a space. It's more expanded to one page or half a page. There's Bowman Youngstars 02-03, and there's a relic card of Rostislav Klesla, the Columbus Blue Jackets. So he was a young upcoming defenseman at the time, and that's Rick Nash right there. So that is pretty cool. So there's some of the stuff that they pulled. 26 inserts. They pulled a Gold Ice, Blackburn and Patrick Elias. Jerseys, Taylor Payette, Tyler Arneson, Kusla, and Branko Radivojevic. I'll say that several times fast. And here's a product preview for 03-04 Pacific. So there we go, 03-04 Pacific, and they were still making cards. Here's sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus. It's just not locking on. There we go. Okay, there we go. So hockey playoffs grading special. So there's some of the cards that you could send in for grading. There's a future watch of Henrik Zetterberg, Marcus Naslund, 92-93 Upper Deck rookie, and a Marty Turco from Private Stock, 2000-2001. Here's some quotes right here. Here's a quote. Underwear. Okay. Well, that's Alexander Frolof's response to the question, do you collect any memorabilia from other players? What? Apparently he collects underwear. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt that memorabilia doesn't translate well into his native Russian. So, he said he collects underwear apparently. Yeah. Moving along. By the numbers, so this is kind of cool. 0, number of games played by top Columbus prospect Pascal Leclerc. 6, number of game used jersey cards on the market featuring Pascal Leclerc. 3, number of potential BHC Beckett hockey collector covers that were quashed at the last minute as a result of playoff failures. So Joseph, Forsberg, Owen Nolan. Percentage of own hair pulled up by BHC editor as limited hobby favorites led to quashing of covers. So, a bit of tongue-in-cheek right here, and some actual numbers right here. Patrick Sharp played 3 games, which he netted 0 points. Number of rookie cards issued for Patrick Sharp, 22. So this is an old one right here. Have You Seen Me? This was for really short printed cards that they wanted verification. So that was a feature that they had back in the day. Some of the people that made recent contributions. 60 Seconds with Tyler Arneson. So this is right here. They used to interview players. So this is some of the questions right here. There's a jersey card of Tyler Arneson right there. Pretty cool. And then, so yeah. What player did you look up to as a kid? Doug Gilmour. He was playing for Toronto back then, and that was my favorite team, and he was the team leader. So, Doug Gilmour. How did you enjoy your first All-Star weekend? The whole weekend was great. Florida was a wonderful place to spend a break. Kind of, cookie cutter answers. Basically predictable, but yeah, still cool. Hot searches. So, top 10 searches on Beckett. Look at that beautiful card right there. That's really nice. Look at Henrik Zetterberg. Look at that patch on that card. Beautiful. Yeah, signature card right there. Okay, but are they rookies? So right there, making the marketplace better. 0203. So this must have been discussing pre-release cards of Rick Nash, Stanislav Chistov, Henrik Zetterberg in 0203. Some of them were in 0102 in the signature series, I believe. Interesting. But yes, they are rookies because everyone said, well, it was their NHL licensed card, so there we go. Yeah, and there's 03 Calder Hockey, the definitive rookie card set. So that's some of the cards you could have pulled. There's an Alice Hemsky, Zetterberg, the beautiful Rick Nash autograph. That's pretty sweet. And then 2 game-worn jerseys per hobby box. So I might get one of these boxes. I don't think I'd be able to get hobby. Might be retail, but still, it'd be cool to put a Peter Forsberg or Ed Belfour jersey card. Marty Turkle. Available. The release was June of 2003. And, yeah, way back when. So this is an article, the 12,000 point man. So someone actually accumulated 12,000 points for the He Shoots, He Scores decoy redemption program in the game. Wow. So, and that was some of his prizes right there, so that's pretty cool. And that's a little article, little write-up on him. Let me zoom out if you want to pause it. I will try to get the focus for you. That's the best I can do right there. This camera is terrible. Hockey card prizes. Okay. Hockey hair equals hockey card prizes. I guess that's for if you were to cool hair. This is a contest that they used to run. Oh, okay, this is cool. McFarlane announces NHL Picks Series 5. So you have some of these figures. I used to have the Sakic. I don't know where it went. There's Dan Cloutier, Joe Sakic, Jason Spezza, Mark Messier on the Oilers. That looks to be Patrick Waugh or Justin Thibault, one of the two. I would say it's Patrick Waugh, yeah. Patrick Waugh. Saku Koivu, and Ty Domi, who was a fan favorite in Toronto. And that's when Beckett.com had their massive makeover. The jig is up. So here's an article on J.S. Giguere. I'm going to zoom out so you get a whole overall view of it. So there's his rookie 96-97 ice, one of his jersey cards from Parkhurst Retro. And J.S. Giguere, there's his 94-95 Parkhurst European Edition rookie. It's considered an extra rookie card. Not really his rookie card since it was before the NHL, but I consider it one of his rookies. That's why it's in my collection. So here's a little article on J.S. Giguere. He was drafted originally by the Calgary Flames. So right there. And he may have even been, he was drafted. There we go. So Calgary had him and they axed him. And then he ended up going to Anaheim for a second round pick in 2000. What a steal. Calgary got fleeced. It was a bad move for the Flames. Yeah, it was. So right there just discusses J.S. Giguere, how he grew into a prominent goalie. He was age 25 at the time. Big goaltender, 6'1", 210. He's talking about his quickness. He gives a chance to win every game, says superstar Paul Kariya. So I will just go on to the text for you if you want to just give it a read. But yeah, like I mentioned earlier, he won the Conn Smythe despite being the runner-up against the New Jersey Devils. J.S. Giguere, he almost single-handedly led Anaheim to the Stanley Cup final in 2003. And then in 2007, with the addition of Chris Pronger, they won the Stanley Cup 4 years later. That's pretty cool. Brings back a lot of memories. I used to just be so involved in hockey. I don't know why, I still enjoy hockey, but back when I was younger, in my teens, I was just a hockey fanatic. I don't know, maybe just other things caught my attention, but still, I love going through these old magazines and brings back a lot of memories. Wow, it's just so enjoyable. I apologize if some of you are finding this boring, but I'm just enjoying going through it. So, yeah, so this is Reader's Right. So, right here just discusses, one collector was collecting autographs through the mail. The Double Century Club, discussing Joe Thornton. Look at Joe Thornton on Boston. That's a really cool card. Has a multicolored stick piece and the yellow of the Boston Bruins. E-Tops. So right here, this may be a feature. So I don't know if this led to Upper Deck with their online cards, but E-Tops, that they may have started the whole online way back in 03. They kind of gave up on it. Well, Tops obviously folded out of hockey. They remained with baseball and basketball. I'm not too sure. I don't follow those sports, but right here was E-Tops. So let's just read about this for a minute. I would like to know why you guys never mention E-Tops cards in your magazines or on your website. This may be the future of sports trading cards, and you guys haven't so much as given them the briefest comment in short prints, let alone price them. Could you please let me know why you guys are still sitting around and not doing anything? Ralph Peterson in New York. Though E-Tops cards have received some notoriety from this segment of the collecting public, the product itself falls outside of the range of the accepted idea of trading cards. So, it doesn't sell cards in the truest sense of the word, but merely the right to one day trade for an actual physical card. So, that's kind of interesting right here. That's kind of cool. So, I had no idea. I remember briefly something about E-Tops cards back in the day, back in 2002, 2003, but this is the start of before Upper Deck came up with the idea. Tops started with online hockey cards. So, and it took a while for them to accept it. Mainly because, well, Upper Deck was more, I guess, influential. Okay, if we carry on, here's the superstars and semi-stars of the time. So some of these players, I used to enjoy reading through these. Like Barrett Jackman was considered a semi-star. Eric Lindros dropped from listed. So some of these names you could just pause this. So unlisted stars like Amante, Belfort, Bertuzzi, Chayos, Datsuk, Naslund. Yeah. There we go. Some of these names you may have not seen before, and some of them will just bring back memories for you all. So vintage unlisted stars right there. So this is modern players at that time, and these are the vintage players like Johnny Bauer, Boom Boom, Jeffrey On, Eddie Shore, John Rattel, and then the semi-stars. So pretty cool. Paul Henderson. That's pretty sweet. So here's the Beckett listings. I don't think I'll bother with this. As you can tell, at this time they were still sizable, font, but as more and more sets got added, now currently the print is so small that you need reading glasses. But right here they were still a prominent size. So this was when they were starting to cut back on the. Well, they still have the listings here, but they took Pro Set out. Some of the lesser, important sets, but right here. So if you want to just take a look at some of the pricings, it's pretty cool. I won't go into that too much detail. So here's some of the cards. Like a Todd Bertuzzi SP 95-96 back in July of 2003 was $20. 25 bucks. I stand corrected. 25 bucks. Some of the prices, you won't see these prices now, but $2 for Paul Kariya, $3 for Wall, $6 for Miroslav Shatan, Peter Sikora, $6, Daniel Alfredson, $6. All those cards are $1, but they were still relatively 10 years old at this time, and still, it's comparable to Young Guns now. You still get some good cards from 10 years ago. Even less that still go for a decent chunk of money, but maybe they'll reach at this point where they become commons. They're venturing near that. Young Guns can get for, except for the superstars, Young Guns can be had for pretty cheap. So, but it's a different comparison. I'm just saying, towards I don't know, 2006, 2007, a lot of these prices started dropping off because these players retired. They moved on. They retired, ended their careers, and everyone just moved their attention to Upper Deck Young Guns and all that. Just became really popular. So that's kind of cool. Right here, here's let's see the pricing for 96, 97 Upper Deck Ice. J.S. Giguere, $25. $25. So Sergei Berezin was listed. Sorry, I'm trying to focus in on it. There's a Joe Thornton rookie, $40. Andrei Markov, $12. Mike York, $18. Oh, $12. $10, sorry. I apologize, I'm stumbling over my words a bit. $10 for Mike York. So it's pretty cool just to look back through these issues and see what cards used to be valued at from a historical point of view. So I'm just going to move along here. As always, they showed certain pictures of different sets. Here, this is kind of cool. The cat's already out of the bag. Oh, look at the cute cat. You wouldn't associate cats or kittens with cards, but I've seen some YouTube videos with cats in the background, but haha, ultimate. So yeah, this was Be a Player. This is they are no longer around. I think Dr. Price, Brian Price, owned this company. And they were pretty revolutionary with their inserts. Look at this. This I love seeing stuff like this. It's so cool. You can see some of the card samples here now, so I will try my best to focus and see some of the names and some of the cards. So there's like this, there's paper cuts. So that's the one of ones, paper cuts. So they used to take like pieces of paper with these names on it and a lot of legends. So some of the cards. There's Danny Heatley, right there. Danny Heatley, Ilya Kovalchuk, and yeah, first overalls. Rookie autograph gold and silver. So that's some of the rookies at that time. Cool. Ron Hainsey, Svitov, Adam Hall. Wow, some really old names. There's a beautiful Maurice Richard autograph. Imagine, like, I don't think any of this stuff is around unbroken now. Look at that Patrick Wall. Beautiful. Oh, I just loved the design that Parker's, like, that Be a Player had back in the mid 2000s. They were just revolutionary in my opinion, and they had Upper Deck beat by a mile in my opinion. Just, I loved seeing these cards. Like, oh, the nice mix of like retro pieces, and like there's Bure and Messier dual jersey. There you go. Sorry, I am trying to keep this focused for you. I apologize. So there we go. Like really, really cool. There's a Danny Heatley there again. Let me see if I can zoom in. See that card clear? I don't think I can. But anyway, that's too close. So yeah, you can just see some really, really cool cards. Oh, and there's even more. So these came, like, I believe they came in a seal, similar to some of the psychics that you've seen on my channel. They were serial numbered, and they came like one per pack, if I'm not mistaken, inside a box. So let me flip back here for a moment. And they came in packaging like this. So this was the 3rd edition, Ultimate Memorabilia, and they came like one encased card per box. So that is pretty cool right there. So used to love those cards, still do. If I ever had a chance to buy some boxes, like anyone, just snag them up. It'd be so worth it just to see the thrill factor, but I would imagine they're tough, really tough to find. Okay, so moving along, we have more cards here. So this was like priced up to 2002, 2003, maybe some 0304 sets, but I think it was, yeah. So there's the Parker's Retro, the first listing. This is before Young Guns like really took off. Like Young Guns were still pretty valuable, like right here. Starting in 2000, 2001, Young Guns started to take off in popularity again. But look at that. See, like a Zetterberg Young Gun. There we go. Steve Eminger. Ooh. Pretty prominent names there. Rick Nash Young Gun. Stanislav Chistov. There's the Ultimate Premier Collection. So that was a new listing. Like these cards, I remember these cards in 05, 06 when Zetterberg and Nash were like peaking and having fantastic seasons. These cards took off to the moon. Rick Nash and Zetterberg alone, and even Spessa went up to 900 to 1,000. So this was basically like a version of the Cup before the Cup came out. This like way back in 2003. Premier Ultimate Collection and Be a Player memorabilia were like the high-end sets to be had. Because yeah, like they were, you know, jersey cards and all that were still a relatively new concept. Like the first jersey cards in hockey came out in 1996. So by this time, jersey cards were still relatively new, a new concept, newish concept. But towards 05, 06, that's when people started to like, okay, yeah, we've seen jersey cards aplenty, and they're still prevalent. But a lot of people don't collect jersey cards now unless they have a nice patch or they're rookie or autographed or low numbered. Common jerseys, people just don't really go for them now. But back then, 2003, jersey cards were about 6 or 7 years old in their origins, so it's pretty cool to size up. There's some McDonald's pricing right there. This is interesting. I want to show you this. So this is like the grading prices. Beckett I think Beckett has a price guide now for graded cards. Might be like independent of the actual Beckett, but back in July of 2003, they used to have prices for each graded card, like the key ones. So like right here, they had a pricing for a Mario Lemieux rookie, graded. And then there's Grand Fuhrer from 81-82. Okay, so here's the hot list. I can't believe. Well, there's a screw up on Beckett's part. That's supposed to be 96-97 Upper Deck Ice. That's his 94-95 Parker's card. So they screwed that up royally. And then this is the Ice card. So a little error on Beckett's part. But that's understandable. That can happen. There's the Premier cards. So Barrett Jackman was really a nice up-and-comer for St. Louis at the time. Marion Gabbert. Look at that beautiful patch. Rick Nash right there. Jason Spezza was popular. Al Shemsky. Rick Nash. There's Danny Heatley. Heatley was just starting out, along with Ilya Kovalchuk. Stanislav Chistov. Mike Komisarek. Now, I remember Mike Komisarek actually had some hobby potential that quickly fell off. There's a Dwayne Rolson rookie from Be a Player. And Marion Gabbert there. So Pascal Dupuis, that's a nice one. SPX rookie jersey autograph of Rick Nash. So these were some of the popular insert singles, and there's the insert sets. And then the buzz. So this discussed some of the hobbies, news. How hot is J.S. Giguere? A jersey he wore with the Calgary Flames back in 99-2000 recently sold for $1,100. Wow. A year ago, heck, 2 months ago, you would have had a hard time getting half that. So stuff like that they discuss, like talking about Kari Lettinen right there, talking about the mask sets. So there we go, some cool stuff right there. Making the grade. So that's some of the recent sales for graded cards. Wow. Aerospace, just discussed some of the trends in the pricing. Players that were going up and down, like Pavel Bure and Eric Lindros. They were on the Rangers and they were falling off. So they went down to unlisted. And then it talks about, right here, research has proven that a substitution was made for in the 01-02 SPX Rookie Redemption set. So Mike Danton is now redeemable for Steve Ott. Well, that's not much of a substitution. They're both douches, but no. So anyway, that's pretty cool though. Like I miss stuff like this, and I wish Beckett would bring it back. So okay, let's wrap this up. I apologize if this is a bit lengthy, but I'm just really enjoying going through all this. Game Gear. So this was another article that was common in Beckett Hockey Collector back in the 2000s. Game Gear, they would discuss some of the prominent memorabilia. So 2003 Stanley Cup Finals jerseys. So that's the logo right there. Eastern Conference against Western Conference. Marian Hossa. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So Ottawa didn't make it, but Marian Hossa was there. A little bit of patience. Ziri, you'll love this one. Discussing Marcus Naslund and Todd Bertuzzi. So Marcus Naslund and Todd Bertuzzi may be the two best wingers in hockey, but he didn't get there overnight and with teams that drafted him. So Todd Bertuzzi was drafted by the New York Islanders. Marcus Naslund drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins. They both ended up together in Vancouver, and along with Brendan Morrison, they were a prominent line before the whole incident with Todd Bertuzzi and Steve Moore. Look that up if you want more info on that. It turned me off from Todd Bertuzzi, but I still appreciated his playing style. He was like really like Cam Neely type. He could go. So right there. So right here it discusses Marcus Nansen and Todd Bertuzzi, how they came to be with the Vancouver Canucks. And then Todd Bertuzzi would go in the Roberto Luongo trade. He would end up with the Florida Panthers. I remember that. So there's a Todd Bertuzzi rookie from Bowman. And there's more right up on them. So if you want to pause that, give that a read. And then Mad Mike's Traveling All-Stars. You want to laugh. I used to love when Beckett used to have these little tidbits. I miss this writing style. If it was up to me, I'd bring this back. There's a Beckett hockey survey. And then postcards from the pond. So, yeah. Some of the best collectibles in life are free. You just have to know what's out there and who to ask for it. So, this is discussing some of the cards that could be had for free. Goes over each team. Colorado's my favorite team, so let's see what it says about them. The Avs rank among the most prolific postcard producers since moving to Colorado, and this season says another highly collectible beauty. The Avs print around 1,500, 2,000, right there. So, talking about postcards that get produced by teams, and then they can be sent out to collectors, maybe even autographed. But I don't know if this is relevant today. But still pretty cool. Pretty cool designs too. If any of you have these cards, I'd love to see them in a YouTube video, or just let me know in the comments below. So we have Marty Turco. That's a really classy looking card. Pavel Bure, number 9 on the Rangers. So there's Brad Richards. Fujifilm. Cool. And then here we go. This is really, really cool. The 2003 NHL mock entry draft. So, as many of you know, the 2003 NHL draft produced a lot of big name stars. One of the most stacked drafts ever in NHL history. Mostly because, the lockout in 2004, 2005 gave these young players a chance to develop in the AHL. So they had an extra year to develop, and their careers took off. So right here, this is Beckett talking about some of the names, and then this is their predictions. And some of these are pretty funny. So let's go through this. With the first pick, the Florida Panthers will select from the Peterborough Pete's Eric Stahl. Here's Carolina. They have selecting Milan Mahalik. You can also read as I go along. Pittsburgh gets Marc-Andre Fleury. They were right about that, but he went first overall. And then these stars right here are talking about the hobby potential. Columbus, 4th overall, picks Nathan Horton. He went to Florida. Nikolai Zherdov, picked by Buffalo. He went to Columbus. So they were all over the place with this. This completely, except for Marc-Andre Fleury, all wrong, but it was speculation on Beckett's part. Dion Phaneuf went to San Jose. This is kind of cool. Buried treasures. So we got Mike Richards, Stephen Mayer, Jeff Tambellini, Corey Crawford, Corey Perry. So Mike Richards, Corey Crawford, and Corey Perry were big names that came out of the late rounds. Okay. Braden Coburn to Nashville. Thomas Vanek to Atlanta. This is kind of funny. Robert Nilsson to Calgary. Dustin Brown to Montreal. Oh boy. Zach Parise to Philly. Ryan Getzlaf to the Rangers. Ryan Suter to the LA Kings. Steve Bernier to Chicago. Danny Fritchie, to the New York Islanders. Konstantin Glazchev. I've never heard of this guy, but he went to Boston. He's going to Boston, according to Beckett. Mark Stewart to Edmonton. Andrei Kostitsyn to Washington. Igor Mironov to Tampa Bay. Jeff Carter gone to Anaheim. Wow. Anthony Stewart on Minnesota, Patrick O'Sullivan to Toronto, Marc-Antoine Pouliot to St. Louis, Kevin Klein to the Vancouver Canucks, Ivan Kumatov to Colorado, Ryan Stone to Philly, Brent Seabrook to New Jersey. Can you imagine Brent Seabrook if he went to New Jersey? Eric Fair gone to Detroit. Kimmel Cripps to Dallas, and Richard Stedek to Ottawa. I haven't heard of any of these, but can you imagine if the draft unfolded like that? So here are these, this is what they said were some of the best players in each category. Best shooter, Sheridan and Dustin Brown. Best skater, Anthony Stewart, Jeff Carter, Zach Parise. So you can give that a quick read right there. Best defensive forward, Milan Mahalik. Best defensive defenseman, Dion Phaneuf. Yeah, he didn't. He was kind of offensive for a while, and he just fell right off. And then right here, Pacific Entry Draft Card Show. So checklist for that set. These are the rookies from the year before. So there we go, everyone. And then this is the next issue that they had. So they always had a preview and just some of the stuff that could be found on Beckett.com. And there we go. So hope you all enjoyed that. Like I said before, I apologize if that was lengthy, but still a nice, fun trip down memory lane. That was the July 2003 issue of Beckett Hockey Collector. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed that. Stay safe out there. Take care of each other and yourself as well. Do not panic. Do not allow the media to cause any frenzy. Just listen. Keep yourself isolated. Use all caution and take care of yourself. We'll get through all this together. And hey, tune into YouTube if you're really bored. Check out some of my past videos. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching and tuning in. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until later, this is Hobby Reflections saying take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.